Hi, my name is Jordan Harmon with New Roads Behavioral Health, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of core mindfulness, which is one of the main skill areas that we teach in DBT treatment. Core mindfulness includes what skills and how skills. Before we get into those, I'll just give you a brief definition of mindfulness and let you know why it's the core of DBT. Mindfulness can be described or defined as paying attention in a particular way, in the moment, and without judgment. And so mindfulness is kind of like, in some ways, it's like an antidote to what a lot of us experience when we get really caught up in our thoughts, when we get really caught up in things mentally, emotionally, or behaviorally that are meant to avoid what we're experiencing. And mindfulness is about kind of coming back to the present, experiencing whatever is there, and becoming more flexible and more able to experience any range of things that might be going on for us. The what skills, we do them one at a time rather than all together, and there's 3 different ones. It's what we do when we're being mindful. The first is observe. The observe skill means just noticing your experience, and doing that without judgment. So that could be your experience of your thoughts, it could be your experience of your emotions, it might be your 5 senses. Whatever it is, you're noticing them, and you're doing that in a way in which you're getting a little space from them, noticing them without judgment, without reaction, without necessarily needing to do or change anything. The describe skill is when you, rather than doing the noticing, you're describing what you've noticed. You're putting words to it. So it might be after having noticed a thought, you might describe it and say, I noticed the thought that I am hungry. I noticed the thought that I am anxious. I noticed the thought that when I feel anxious, my heart rate speeds up and my chest feels tight. So describing in a specific way. You might do that by talking out loud to another person. You might do that to yourself. You might do that by writing down in a journal. But the idea is that when you describe and put words to your experience, it's a way for you to pay attention to that and process it in a different way. Participate is another what skill, and that's when you throw yourself into something 100%. So it's more active in terms of being a part of whatever's going on. And that could be a game that you're playing, it could be work, it could be spending time with a friend or a family member. So it's really, putting away the distractions, putting away your phone, putting away other things, and focusing and participating 100% in whatever you're doing at that time. Those are the 3 what skills. Now, these 3 how skills are ones that we do all together. It's the how we do mindfulness. So whereas the what skills you might do one at a time, the how skills we want to try to have those qualities present all the time when we're doing mindfulness. The first one is non-judgmental stance. It's very hard to do, and it's something that we can learn how to do and develop more and more. I don't think anyone's really perfect at non-judgmental stance, just because how we're wired as humans is to interpret and judge things. And so we can never totally get away from that. And we can learn to step back from things and not label things as good or bad, or should and shouldn't, and rather notice them. We can observe or describe or participate in a non-judgmental way, in a way that's open to things as they are, without interpreting them, really quickly, before we have facts. One mindful is another how skill, and it's kind of like the opposite of multitasking. So it's kind of like goes in line with the participate skill, but the idea is that you are, instead of trying to multitask with your brain in terms of thinking about a lot of things and doing a lot of things at once, you're focusing on one thing at a time, and you're noticing, or you're describing, or you're participating one thing at a time, one mindfully. The third one, effectively. That's basically doing what works. So some people, everyone's got to find their own way to do mindfulness and how to be effective with mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't necessarily equate with relaxation. Some people use mindfulness to relax or to decrease their stress or anxiety or to feel more calm, and it can have that effect. And sometimes when people, especially people who have struggled with other kinds of disorders or struggles, start doing mindfulness, they might actually experience an increase of anxiety or stress. And that's because they're sitting with their experience instead of distracting from it. And what their experience is maybe negative thoughts or destructive urges or things like that. So being effective doesn't mean that you're feeling calm, you're feeling relaxed. It means that you're doing what works for you to pay attention in the moment and to be present for whatever is there for you. This is the core of DBT. All other skills are really supplemental to these skills and are based on, again, helping us find and helping our clients find their life worth living. Thanks for watching.